You've probably heard people say you need to find your baseline. How are you going to do that? Because honestly, that phrase gets thrown around all the time in the chronic fatigue world, but hardly ever does anybody really explain what that means in real life. Today, I'm going to break it down in a simple way and walk you through 4 steps to actually find your baseline, because this is where a lot of people stay stuck in the push crash cycle. And one big reason people struggle to find their baseline is they look for it on their good days. And that is exactly the wrong time to look. Your baseline is not your best day. It's not the random day you wake up and think, oh, wow, I feel kind of good and kind of normal today. That's not your baseline. That's usually adrenaline or caffeine or momentum or even borrowing energy from tomorrow. Your real baseline is what your body can handle consistently without triggering a crash later. And that word consistently matters because with CFS, you can do almost anything once. The problem is what happens 24 to 48 hours later. That's why so many people stay trapped in the cycle. You crash, you rest, you start feeling a little better, so you do more, then you crash again. And over it goes. And that's not recovery, that's the push crash cycle running your life. The hard part is your body doesn't always warn you in the moment. What makes it so confusing is because with chronic fatigue, the payback is usually delayed. And you may feel okay while you're doing the thing, then 2 days later, you're laid out wondering what happened again. So if you're trying to find your baseline based on how you feel in the moment, you keep overshooting it. Here's what actually helps. First, track your week, and not just workouts or steps. Track everything that drains you: sleep, stress, errands, phone calls, emotional drama, scrolling for an hour, a hard conversation, mental overload. It all counts. A lot of people track physical activity, but mental and emotional stress drains your battery too. Second, look at your crashes. Every time you crash, look back about 24 to 48 hours. What happened before it? Did you clean the house, go shopping, have a stressful day, get excited and overdo it because you finally felt good? Start looking for patterns because your crashes are usually leaving clues. And third, find your ceiling, not just your floor. People think baseline means what's the least I can do to survive. But no, what you're really trying to find is what's the most I can do consistently without crashing. That is your baseline. And then step 4, stay under it at first. I know that part is frustrating. The second you have a decent day, your brain starts making plans. I should catch up on laundry. I should work out. I should go meet friends. I finally feel okay. I need to take advantage of this. And that is usually the moment that sets off the next crash. One of the hardest things in CFS is learning to stop before you're exhausted. Because by the time you feel wiped out, you probably already crossed the line. And as I've said before, this isn't about giving up or giving up on life. It's about getting strategic. Because every time you stay under your baseline consistently, you give your nervous system a chance to calm down instead of constantly being thrown into survival mode. The people who slowly improve are usually not the people who pushed hardest on good days. They're the people who finally learned where their line actually was. So if you're sitting there thinking, honestly, I don't even know where my baseline is anymore, I do have a free assessment. It only takes a few minutes and it can help you find where you're at in your push crash cycle and what may be keeping you stuck. You can find the link below.